Coming up on this edition of SPSI, we hear from a mayoral candidate working towards change, and we'll have a special performance from a group spreading a positive message. All that and much more headed your way when SPSI starts right now.
BronxNet. Your voice, your views, your vision.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the participants and do not reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
Welcome to this edition of SPSI, the one and only program that for the past 16 years has been focusing on the needs, concerns, and achievements of the differently abled. I've always been your host, Lawrence Seiler. On this edition, we'll be joined by mayoral candidate Hilda Kathy Brody Fernandez to discuss the different approach she is taking to empower change in New York City. Welcome to SPSI, Hilda.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here again on SPSI. So, you're running for mayor for 2013. Explain your campaign and what makes it different from other campaigns.
Well, a different approach is just that, a different approach. We are actually going to, we are addressing the needs of this city because we need growth. The city is in crisis right now, and the reason that I'm running is because I decided after listening to the other people who are running and saying things are not being focused on what really needs to be done, specifically with transportation, with housing, with the stop and frisk, to stop the violence. So many problems are being talked at but not really addressed. There's no solutions being put forth.
Okay. Now, since the show is about special needs, you have experience in the field of special needs as well as running for a mayoral seat. Tell me about some of your experiences that you have working in the field.
Okay, I'm a retired vocational rehabilitation counselor, formerly with, it used to be VESIT, now it's called Access VR. I worked with the Borough President's Office for people with disabilities. I've worked with the Mayor's Office for people with disabilities. These were volunteer positions. Of course, I was co-chair of the Bronx Borough President's Office under Fernando Ferrier. I've worked in different schools and in collaborated with the Labor Department to address the needs of people with special needs or differently able people, so that it's not required that a person who's differently able just take any job. You hear this saying, something is better than nothing. Well, if you're going towards something that's not going to meet your financial obligations, then that something is making you worse off than when you started. So, and it's not only putting it on the system though, because we as people who are differently able have to put forth, well, what are we willing to do for ourselves? Okay, are you willing to spend the time and the energy to offer an employer something that's worthwhile for them, that they're willing to pay you for? Okay. And that's where we kind of lose it in that I don't want you to give me a job because I'm differently able. I want you to give me a job because I'm qualified to do it and I'm the best candidate for the position.
Now, in terms of some of the issues that we tackle here in our city today, transportation, finances, they just cut a whole lot of budget for people with special needs. Group homes are suffering. People are suffering. Nursing homes, hospitals. Hospitals are closing. As mayor, how are you going to try to fix? I know we can't fix everything because there's only 24 hours in a day.
And only 365
5
days
days
in
a
a year.
year. And there's that stress level like we all go under. How do you expect to fix these particular problems, especially accessory and vocational rehabilitation, because some of these agencies are not placing people with special needs in the right positions.
Okay, can we take it one at a time?
Yeah.
though? Okay, I was on the original transportation committee for Accessoride. We were formed 10 years before the ADA was passed, trying to get the city up to snuff, so that the fiasco that it is now, we were trying to prevent it. But unfortunately, we were only in a position to be a committee, but they didn't guarantee that they were going to implement our solutions to the problem. So Accessoride originally was supposed to be feeder lines. It was supposed to, the
Repeat
city,
that again?
feeder lines.
What
okay.
exactly is that?
Okay. The city had 10 years from the time we started to get specific subway stations and all of the buses accessible.
Okay.
Okay. The paratransit was supposed to be able to get person who's differently able to an accessible subway, to an accessible bus. People with disabilities never wanted to have this door-to-door segregation. That's what the paratransit system is, it's segregation. We want it to be integrated into the whole subway system, the whole bus system, so that we wouldn't seem so different and unknown to everybody. Unfortunately, the cost of making the train stations accessible, and the buses are much better than they were, but was so phenomenal that Accessoride is what it is today. Actually, what they're trying to do now is change it to the way it was supposed to be. They're gradually adding in, we're going to take you, can you get to the bus stop? Or we're going to take you from that bus stop or from that train station to an accessible one. What needs to be done also is the stations that are accessible, the elevators need to work. You know, it defeats the purpose if I get to an accessible subway station, but I can't get downstairs, or I can't get upstairs if it's an elevator, because the elevator is not working. So that's taking care of the transportation, because it's integration. We're all trying to integrate everybody so that everybody feels like we're all a part of the city and I'm not off to the side.
Okay.
Okay. So
Now, we had Mayor Koch, we had David Dinkins, we had, you know, some very powerful people in office. What will make your campaign different than these other mayors, especially Bloomberg, etc.?
because it's a grassroots effort. It's not, I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I've been
I
writing
don't think anybody was.
Okay. Well, tell that to your mom sometimes.
Okay.
I'm from the trenches, so you don't have to tell me, the people don't have to tell me what's needed. What we've come up with are solutions to our problems. The previous mayors have tried to address them, but now I have people who are walking up to me, strangers, and saying, I have something that I've been trying to do and I never got anybody to hear me. So we're going to hear, but we're going to implement. I mean, it's okay to have it on paper, it's okay to do the research, but the time for doing the research and having it on paper has passed, and now we need to implement. Just take, for instance, the program that I have for youth.
Okay.
Okay.
Stop the violence. Okay.
No, a different approach.
Different approach.
Different approach. Okay. We've been in existence since 1991. Okay. We have a 99.99999% success rate. Only one kid dropped out of high school. Only one kid got arrested. And that kid we reined back in. Okay. We've been trying to broaden it so that reach out and touch others and include everybody in this, because it's positive. We look at the education system. Okay, if 4 out of 10 youth are dropping out, okay, and then only 80% of those who do graduate are ready to take college classes without remediation. They need remediation before they can take college classes. What is our education system telling our kids? Okay, if we're not preparing them, and this is my whole mindset. If we're not preparing them to pay FICA, then we're
FICA is, again?
federal Social Security.
Okay.
Pay into that system and pay taxes. Then their other alternative is to pay bail and go to jail. And we have to get that mindset out of our young people. Okay, so it's implementing. It's not just talking about it, but it's getting the people in there and having them do it. Now my program, it's minimal cost. You talk about, oh, the hospitals are closing and these are closing. Why can't we reallocate the funds? Okay, just let me give you one example. Just for the Bronx, 17,000 youth are coming from upstate prisons every year. It costs $270,000 a year to house these kids up in these prisons. The most expensive program down in the city, down in the 5 boroughs, is $10,000. So give me the $10,000. Let's work with the kids here, and that other $260,000. Think of that: 17,000 kids with $260,000. That's a lot of money. Mm-hmm. So maybe we don't have to close our hospitals. Maybe we can put together something that it's called reallocation of the funds.
Mm-hmm. Now, real quick before we go to break and to our next segment, you're having a fundraiser.
Yes,
soon.
I am.
When is that?
It's going to be on May 25th, and it's going to be at Lehman College.
Okay.
And
it's going to be about youth and empowerment.
It's going to be about. It's going to cover the whole gamut. We're going to have some entertainment, the world famous Delphonics, Blue Magic, Billy Paul, Second Chance. There's going to be a fashion show. There's going to be a Stop the Violence youth performance. It's taking the whole community, our whole community, and putting it together. Because yes, the campaign needs to have funds raised, but also people need to see some of the positive things that are going on in our city, because we're always focusing on the negative.
Okay, well, excuse me while we go to break. When we come back, we'll take a taste of the team from FaceTime. All that and much more when SPSI continues.
My name's Brandon. I'm 9 years old, being alcoholic.
Hi, Brandon.
I'll start drinking with the older kids. And whatever they do, I'll do.
Kids who drink before age 15 are 5 times more likely to have alcohol problems when they're adults. So start talking before they start drinking.
I know it'll start with alcohol. I'm just not sure how it's gonna end.
Be free.
Nice, Dad. Nice, Dad. Nice, Dad.
Charles!
Nice, Dad.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of siblings in foster care who'll take you just as you are.
This is so cool, Dad. Awesome. This is so cool, Dad.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of siblings in foster care who'll take you just as you are.
For you. Hey, Mom.
You know, girls, I used to cheer back in my day. Ready? Okay! Go team!
That was amazing. 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 Mom. That was amazing.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of siblings in foster care who'll take you just as you are.
Welcome back. Now we continue our conversation with mayoral candidate Hilda Kathy Brody Fernandez on her different approach to bringing growth to New York. When we talk about all these different issues, because we never used to have the ADA. I mean, we had it in 1990. It needs to be changed, right? How do you feel as a mayoral candidate, the ADA and some of the other laws for people with special needs need to change?
Okay, if you recall, when the ADA was first drafted and implemented, it wasn't separate. It was the governing bodies are now Department of Transportation, Department of Justice, and it's three different agencies trying to coordinate the services. So if you have a problem, you don't have one central location to go to. That it needs to be a central location. And I don't mean a call line. I mean somebody who's actually going to hear what you're saying and address the issue.
Personally, as far as I'm concerned, 311 is the call line, and some of the stuff never gets taken care of.
Okay, so you don't want just to talk into the air. You want things to be done, and I think that because it's so separate, the ADA and enforcement, human rights here and over here, that nobody hears anything that's going on because the left hand never speaks to the right hand. Okay, so I would consolidate the ADA into.
How would you? Okay, you're going to consolidate
okay,
it, but how would you really change it? That's my point. Would you change it?
It needs to be enforced.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be changed. It needs to be enforced. Because the ADA is fine. It's fine. If you read, and I helped to write it, so I know that it's fine. But if you read it and how it's being enforced, you know that something got lost in the translation. So we need to translate it again. You're saying translate it so the enforcement understands what is supposed to be enforced and not having you go ring around the rosy with it. Remember, I'm running for mayor. I'm not a politician. I'm not part of the old boy network. I don't owe anybody anything except the people of New York deserve an opportunity to grow. To grow and to live and not be so miserable, because it seems like so many people are so miserable all the time. I'm so tired of people frowning when I like to laugh, but you have to give people something to laugh about. And growth.
And when you're cutting this, you're cutting that, you're cutting this, it's like you're taking the umbilical cord from a baby and slicing it.
And making them feel hopeless and helpless. And nobody laughs when they're feeling hopeless and helpless because nobody's happy. Okay, so if we can reallocate those funds, and that's just one source of funding. So I don't even think taxes would have to be raised. I'm not seeing that taxes have to be raised. It's just redistributing. Did you know that the teachers used to get a certain amount of money, I think it was $100 for a year, to buy crayons and pencils and supplies for their students, and now it's at the discretion of the principal if they get $50 for the year? So how can that be? How can that be? And expect and I know that I may be dating myself, but I remember that we had crayons.
I remember growing up in public school. Okay, special ed, that's another issue that you could tackle as mayor, right? Special ed was different when I was going to school. Now, my high school is 6 different schools instead of 1. I was getting a textbook from 1958.
Okay.
You know, those are issues.
Okay, but this is the
we're not just talking disabilities here.
It's talking about everybody. It's talking about everybody, because remember, there's been a whole push toward integration, getting everybody into what do they call it? Mainstreaming, mainstreaming all of the students together, but failing to put the supports in place that the students that was differently able needed so that they could keep pace with.
Special ed only started in 1967, 68.
Okay, but remember, state education department dictates what's coming down into the cities. So then we have to do kind of get the state down here to notice that if Johnny is having problems in the 1st grade and it's not addressed. In the second grade, then in the third grade, we're losing Johnny. Johnny's tuned out to us. Okay, the only way that we're going to do that is to address their needs, and some of the tools that the students need, the students with special needs need, are fairly reasonable. I brought a speaking dictionary and a battery charger with me today. Okay, and this is not just the schools, this is parents as well. Because I was speaking to people and I said, well, how many of your kids have a Wii or I think the Xbox is the games that they play now? Okay, well, why aren't they not getting the talking dictionaries? This is technology.
They're using iPads in schools now, but it's staying at the school. The student can't take it home with them.
But the talking dictionary, they can. It's a talking dictionary, thesaurus, calculator. It translates into 5 languages. It has word games. Let's have our kids playing word games instead of that kickboxing, whatever they're doing on the I don't play the game, so the last game I played was Atari, so don't tell anybody that.
I got one of those too.
Okay.
Anyway, I'd like to thank you for joining us on SPSI.
Okay.
Thank you again.
But I'd like to give the phone number for the fundraiser.
Go ahead.
It's 347-344-4433.
Okay.
You can.
When we come back, we'll have more, and we'll have the team, as well as the SPSI bulletin board when we return in a moment. Stay tuned.
I remember how much you said you liked mine.
Oh.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of siblings in foster care who'll take you just as you are.
Hey, how's it going?
Sir, are you okay?
What? Oh, this? It's probably nothing. I'm sure it'll go away.
Go away? But, sir, that can't be good.
No, it's cool. Really.
Do you want a napkin or something?
Everything's fine. Thanks.
You wouldn't ignore this. So why ignore the signs of a stroke? At the first warning signs, call 911 immediately. Because time lost is brain lost.
Did you find the flashlight and the batteries?
Yes.
Did you make sure we're not missing anything in the first aid kit?
Yep.
Did you go through the plan with the kids again?
Yes. The more you prepare today, the more you'll be able to reduce the devastating effects of a tornado, an earthquake, a power outage, or any other disaster.
Clean kitchen surfaces, utensils, and hands with soapy water. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
This is so cool, Dad. This is so cool, Dad.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of siblings in foster care who'll take you just as you are.
Now let's turn our attention to the SPSI bulletin board that contains information on today's show. For more information on Hilda Kathy Brody Fernandez for New York City Mayor 2013, you can call her at 646-650-8229. That number again is 646-650-8229. 8229. Or you can go to hkbf53@gmail.com or www.hkbf@differentapproach.org. That's HABF@differentapproach.org. For more information on the fundraising event for Hilda Kathy Brody Fernandez, you can call 347-344-4433. That number again is 347-344-4433. Now we're joined by the team from FaceTime. They're here to perform on our SPSI stage. Let's take it away, guys.
Just yo, yo, yo. Oh, stop the violence, stop the violence.
Each and every day.
Stop the violence, stop the violence.
At home, school, and play.
Stop the violence, stop the violence.
Each and every day.
Stop the violence, stop the violence.
Just throw them guns away.
Stop the violence, stop the violence.
Each and every day.
Oh, stop the violence, stop the violence.
At work, school, and play.
Yup, stop the violence, stop the violence.
Each and every day.
Stop the violence, stop the violence.
Throw them guns away. Stop the violence. You ain't got to clean your heart. Don't gamble with your life, cause they'll pull your card. You say there's nothing else to do but go and get a job before you 6 feet under or behind the bars. Stop the violence, that's really what you need to do. Stop the violence, cause your enemies will finish you. Stop the violence, we gotta do this for the kids. Stop the violence, cause we wanna see them do it big.
Yup, stop the violence, stop the violence.
Each and every day.
Stop the violence, stop the violence.
Just throw them guns away.
Stop the violence, stop the violence.
Each and every day.
Oh, stop the violence, stop the violence.
Just throw them guns away.
Yup, stop the violence, stop the violence.
Each and every day.
Oh, stop the violence, stop the violence.
At home, school, and play.
Yup, stop the violence, stop the violence.
Each and every day.
Yup, stop the violence, stop the violence.
Throw them guns away.
Yup, stop the violence.
Yup,
yup, right now. If not, you either dead or in jail. You can live or die by the gun when them hollows fly. Where you gon' run? No ladies and babies be the victim. It's crazy nowadays. All these youngsters got K. They don't care where they spray. As long as the best friend could be the one to get laid. Like how they did MLK. I ain't gon' say no names, yo. Life ain't no game. If you wanna play, be an athlete. You could be anything you wanna be. When you pick up the heat, you shoot all the target be. Just make the right decision, please. Stay in school and you will have more opportunities. Stop the violence, stop the violence.
Each and every day.
Oh, stop the violence, stop the violence.
Work, school, and play.
Hey, stop the violence, stop the violence.
Each and every day.
Yup, stop the violence, stop the violence.
Just throw them guns away.
Oh, violence, stop the violence.
Each and every day.
Oh, stop the violence, stop the violence.
Work, school, and play.
Stop the violence, stop the violence.
Each and every day.
Whoa, stop the violence, stop the violence.
Throw them guns away.
Hey,
live by the gun.
Oh,
well, hey, that's cool. You say you ride by the gun.
Whoa.
Well, hey, that's cool. You say your passion is guns.
Hey.
Well, hey, that's cool. We got the Army and the Air Force plus the Marines too.
Ha. Work, school, and play. 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 Rich, able, and Paul, straight to Sable and gay. Rich, homeless, and Paul, straight to Sable and gay. Work, school, and play. Home. Work, school, and play. Home. Work, school, and play. Home. Work, school, and play. Rich, homeless, and Paul,
straight to Sable and gay.
Rich, homeless, and Paul,
straight to Sable and gay.
Violence, stop the violence. Stop the violence, stop the violence.
Stop the violence.
Stop the violence, stop the violence.
Stop the violence.
Yeah.
Stop the violence. So sad.
From all of us here at BronxNet, we offer our condolences and prayers to those victims of the events that took place in Boston. Well, that puts an end to this edition of SPSI. I'm Lawrence Seiler. As always, see you next time.